Greetings, all Shardvixen. Today is Saturday, January 13th. I had to look. You could probably tell that by my eyes. I seem a little dark on, so I'm going to turn on the light. There we go. Oh, that's better. Better. Alright, I have to get a new mask made. I have been invited to do a pod subcast. I don't know the difference between the two. Next Friday with rum and apples. So, kind of need my mask to look a little better, I think. I mean, this one's fine. It's much more secure. I just feel like my eyes don't get the time they need. It doesn't push. Maybe I just need another. I don't know. Anyway, that's not our subject today. Our subject today is video games and how I play them. And you probably, most of you know how that is if you've watched me play. But I was thinking all last week, there's a psychological component to how you play video games. Kind of like a psychological component to how you deal with people and how you don't deal with people and how you do your house or how you don't do your house. My house is technically in the fancy decor of clutter. What does that say about my personality? That I have a very hyperactive personality. It's all over the place. Or, depending on who you are, it could also mean that I'm lazy. Though, I think I'm lazy. Most people say, you're not lazy. I'm a lot more lazy now since the shoulder and the fibromyalgia being weird. Also, I talk with one hand more often now than I do with two because of the shoulder. It's very odd. I feel a little lopsided. Anyway, so this topic. I was thinking because there are lots of games out there that test the way you play. So, Dark Souls is a good one for this. I think that if you are very good instinctively about how video games move, Dark Souls is easy to beat. If you're really good at that and that or moving it around with your mouse or clicking on the keyboard, you do well in most video games. Some video games, though, if you learn how the video game is set up, has the same repetitive movements as in patterns, and then you can understand the patterns and you can play the game differently. That's how I play video games. I try to find out what the pattern of the video game is, and then how do I get around that pattern. Because I'm not good enough this, and I'm not good enough with this. And some games that I find interesting and enjoying, I can't beat, such as Dark Souls. I really want to see what's beyond that demon. I just want the demon to blow up. I need a grenade in Dark Souls. So the question then begins that we have to look deeper in the brain. Now, I don't believe in gender. Okay, I think gender is a society made up thing so that we know who is who and who we're supposed to like and who we're not supposed to like. So if I'm supposed to like guys, I need to know they're guys. If I like girls, I kind of need to know they're girls. That's a deep underlying unconscious kind of instinctive thing that we have. We want to know what everything is. It's how humans survive, by classifying and putting things in their little boxes. So, but the way the brain grows and the way the brain learns is based on stimuli from the outside world. So if you are told, because you have a vagina, that you're not going to be very good at video games, you will always think you're not very good at video games. Or there'll be some underlining thing that will make you not very good at video games. I'm not very good at video games. I don't think it's because I'm a female. I think I'm just not very good at video games. I'm not very good at the hand-eye coordinated kind of stuff. Though, I am a really good copy artist. I can look at something and see the patterns and copy it. So if I take that thing that I am good at and I put it into a video game, then I can actually have a semi-chance of winning. The other thing is I'm tenacious. So that tenaciousness is what helps me win video games, because I don't give up. I just keep trying and keep trying and keep trying. Now, I might not do it all in one whack. I might try for a while and walk away and come back and try again and whatever. And sometimes I don't get the satisfaction as a video game because I play it differently than it intended. Games that I really enjoy, okay, and I enjoy a wide range of games, which has nothing to do with the way I play them. One that comes up is Fortnite. I'm not very good at Fortnite. One reason, because I don't shoot very well. So that's that hand-eye coordination, you know, and understanding how the game's pattern is. Now, the game's pattern wants to be more realistic, so the longer away your target is, the more you have to anticipate where you're going to shoot them. You can't shoot them dead on. You got to shoot them kind of to forward motion. I understand that. That doesn't mean I can do it. Because when you play video games, at some level there's an instinctive part of you that wants to play it a certain way, and it keeps falling back to that pattern. So I have to think more than most people do in a video game. Age is a factor. Not because as you get older you get slower, because there are a lot of people that don't, but because things become more instinctive the younger you are. So if you were 4 when a video game came out, and it keeps growing, and then you keep growing, you grow along with that video game, so you get pretty good at the video game. For me, the whole aspect of video games came later in life, and I didn't play them continuously. I played them off and on. Now, I like games just in general. I like to play games. Every Thursday night we play board games in the house. We find different ones you have to think about, ones that are basically random. You know, you roll the dice and then you go. But most games have a certain amount of thinking process in them, because there's a strategy that you have to think about. How do you want to complete this? What's the best way to complete this? I don't mind playing games with other people, as long as they understand that I play games differently. So when I play Fortnite with other people, I play the way they play. I don't necessarily any better than the way I play. Well, it is, but differently. So what is it that video games say about us? That is a whole psychological thing now, and they have research and papers out there, and they've got people that say that if you play violent video games, you're violent. What if, I always say that you probably were violent before you played the violent video games. I have a certain amount of violence in me. Must be the fox part of me. Well, I have a certain amount of aggression in me. I don't know if I have a certain amount of violence. I don't know how violent I am, but I am very aggressive and very assertive. And that is a different aspect altogether. But when I play video games, sometimes I still don't play that way. I don't necessarily always play violent. Sometimes I do. Sometimes I play very aggressive, very assertive, and very violent. I just want to get in there, chop, 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 and you're dead. Or shoot, 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 and you're dead. And the reason is because I know it's a video game. I know that I'm not going to die. I mean, even if you play a permadeath and your character dies, okay, you still get to play that game again. You get to do a redo. You know, it reminds me of that one that Tom Cruise was in, which is a play on Groundhog's Day, where every time he makes a mistake, he dies and starts back over. There's a certain amount of frustration that goes with that, of course. But in most video games, if you can enjoy the playing of the game, then it doesn't matter if you keep dying and have to restart over. I understand the mechanics of Dark Souls. I understand the randomness is really a program that has been coded in that gives a long stream of, if not this, then that. I get that. It's that their patterns, even though I can see them, happen too quickly for me to figure out how to get around the pattern. So I really have to learn how to play differently when I play hard games. Because when I play hard games, I tend to do what's called cheating, and I get around the pattern. One of the ways you can do that is just leveling up. Everybody does that, of course, but it takes time, and not everybody wants to spend the time to level up. But technically, if you level up in most games, when you come back to hit those parts that are hard, you will be able to hit those parts. Now, if you equate that to reality, what that means is that if I just keep trying, okay, and I get better in the thing that I'm having a problem with, then eventually I'll be able to combat that. There's some things in real life that doesn't work for, but for most part, there's a lot of things that it works really well for. An example is changing the oil on your car. You may have bought a car and don't know how to change the oil. And when you try to change the oil, you mess it all up. So you go get a book, you learn how to do it, and you slowly take piece by piece, and eventually you know how to change your car. Same thing with changing your tire. But changing a head gasket might be a little more problematic, depending on the car and tools and things like that. But you could still learn it, because it's, whether you're good at it or not, it's a different aspect. Some people are very talented with machines and putting machines together and understanding machines and being able to work on machines. But for the average Joe out there, or the average Shardvixen, you can learn how to do it. Will I do it well? I don't know. I've changed 2 head gaskets in my lifetime, and the car still ran. So I guess that was the end goal for that. I know it's hard, I think, from my point of view. From the female part of me, I think it's hard for me to get people to take me serious as a female gamer. For a lot of reasons. And one of it, I think, happens the same thing as this kind of thing. What kind of females play video games? The stereotype is the person that has no life, right? Plays video games. The stereotype is the nerd person plays video games. The stereotype for females is they have to be probably ugly, antisocial, and too smart for them to play video games. Because technically girls can't play video games. That's kind of a weird underlining thing that goes on outside of the video gaming world and sometimes inside the video game world. So when I play with other people, that may always be there kind of in the back of their mind, is she's not very good because she's a girl. She's not very good because she's a girl. And she's only playing video games because she can't achieve femaleness. I always wonder if I play video games in what would be equate as a female playing video games. But my thinking of female thinking is because of the world around me, not because of me personally. How I think is how I think. How I react is based on input from the outside world. So if I say to somebody, I'm not really sure I'm very good at this game, can you help me? Sometimes their idea of helping me is doing the game for me, which is alright. I mean, I don't mind. You learn from that too. But I wonder if they do that with everyone. And I have no way of knowing. I mean, you have to be careful asking people. By the way, if a guy came and asked you would you help in the same way? And most people might say yes, but still not really be truthful even with themselves, because nobody likes to think that they're not helping everybody equally. But reality says, the psychological, that on the average, you help people you like more, faster and better. If you're a helper kind of person, you help everybody, but you're still more inclined to help those that are more appreciative of it than those that are not. If you think they think a certain way, you're gonna, like you, then it's gonna be easier to help them. I don't know, it's just an interesting thing to think about. How do we play video games? What is it? That is separate from why we play video games. I play video games. I enjoy playing video games. I enjoy immersing myself in a world. My dog is doing her little scratch her back thing, and it makes her cry because she's got just one spot. Her fur is very itchy, and she can't. We take good care of her. I didn't want you hearing that sound thinking I wasn't taking good care of her. It's just that she likes to scratch on the bottom of my chair. Sorry, tangent. So how do we play video games? How do I play video games? It's different than how my son plays video games. It's different than how my grandson plays different video games. Probably even, I know it's different in some ways than my daughter plays games. So maybe how we play games is how we are in the world, or how we would like to be. I mean, I know people who have played evil characters. I have a hard time playing evil characters. I don't know why. I feel bad for these little digital things. Like, somehow a part of me believes they're real. So everything that I do has a consequence. So I want to make sure that the consequence is in my favor. I don't make a very good sneaky, which is interesting because I'm technically a sneaky kind of person, which I know is, you shouldn't say because that kind of has a bad connotation. But I mean, I will observe and figure out ways around things and how to deal with people. The word I would use is manipulate, but people have a very horrible connotation of manipulation. But manipulation is just learning how to effectively use everything around you to achieve a goal, including people. And we don't like that. We don't like those terms because the term use, it has a horrible connotation to it too. It means, you know, that you don't think of that person's feelings, but that's not true. So when I play video games, I like to be sneaky, but I'm not very good if the video game requires me to be sneaky, because I don't have the patience. I think I just want to sometimes I just want to get through it and get done with it and move on. Now, in the game like Fortnite, you can be sneaky, but it doesn't really pan out as being as good as being aggressive. Like, just jump in there and shoot everybody and be the best quick draw there is. So I don't know that I will ever be able to be a winner in Fortnite. That doesn't mean I wouldn't play the game. I mean, I still play the game. I enjoy the game. I'll stop playing the game when I don't enjoy it anymore. I like trying new games. They don't always pan out. I don't like horror games. I don't mind games that are a mixture of horror, but after playing Amnesia, I don't think that I'll be playing games like that. I know a lot of people like seeing people play games like that, but I just don't think that's the game for me. I like the puzzles in it. I like puzzle, but I'm not very smart, so puzzles in games can be very problematic for me. I don't mind. Another part of me does not mind looking at how other people have played a part that I'm stuck in, because it takes away the enjoyment of playing if I never can get through it. Yeah, and I'm sure there's a lot of people who would disagree with that. Oh no, I love beating the puzzle, no matter how long it takes me. I'm not that way. There's a certain amount of time I'll say, screw this, I'll go look it up, and then I can proceed. I don't like to watch walkthroughs of games I want to play, because it's like somebody telling you the end of the movie or the end of the book. What's the point? It's the journey for me that is more exciting, and I kind of want to make that journey. So that tells you a lot about me, whether you care or not, but it does tell a lot about a person on how they play video games and the type of video games they play. Some people only play certain types of video games. I don't. I'm very eclectic kind of person. I was eclectic in my schooling. I'm eclectic in the things that I do. And eclectic means like little bits of everything to make a whole. I have lots of interests. I have lots of things I'm interested in. I have lots of ways I do things. I have a huge pocket of where I can pull stuff out and go, oh, this didn't work. Video games is the same way, but the problem is somebody else created that world, and there's only so many things in your pocket that you can pull out. You have to earn them, or you have to be good at it, or blah, 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 blah. All right, so that's it. Kind of just a weird, almost rambling video, but there was an intent there. If you made it this far, I'm working hard on balancing my life out. I eliminated the med that was causing so much problem. least I think it was causing so much problem. I've noticed a big difference so far. I'm a little more awake during the day. I still get tired. Fibromyalgia makes me tired, so I just have to kind of deal with that on its own. I do suffer from more pain from not taking it, so that's kind of an issue, especially for sleeping wise. I still haven't got my sleep patterns quite back on track, but I'm getting closer, and I'm enjoying that. It's not that I need to wake up at 7 o'clock every morning, but I do definitely need to wake up before noon, at least half of the day, so I can get more things done. Alright, so that's it. I'm out of here. Peace. 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 I don't know where this came from. Surfidoo. Surfidoo. I love you. I love you. And I'm out of here.